First thing we did was research the conventions of horror, in particular the subgenre zombie. Also, we challenged the conventions of the horror genre by shooting the opening sequence on the beach as well as in the daytime, such as 28 Days Later.
This was also challenging as the setting still needed to look scary and abandoned. However, upon finding our location, it was clear it held the best atmosphere than other settings we viewed. In the scene in which the zombies are going to kill Paul, the lighting is very bright and natural, which gives a unique quality to our movie.
The sound I've used in the film have challenged the conventions of real films through the use of electric guitars and drums as opposed to the regular conventions of strings used in films such as Dawn of the Dead. The characters used, i.e. all female zombies, is purposely used to subvert the character gender stereotype and show women as stronger and more harmful, instead of the classic damsel in distress used in horror films. This will also shock the audience, as the women are aggressive types, also seen in the film lesbians, vampire killers and thief.
The film Zombie Nation can be likened to other zombie horror films, such as Shaun of the Dead and Zombieland, which have been box office successes. Ours could share the same success if there was a high budget and a lot of media adverts.
We could also have merchandise for our movie, including t-shirts quoting lines such as
"Where's everyone?"
with pop art images of the characters. Our movie could be released as a straight-to-DVD release if the project was made on a small budget and wasn't as well accepted as first thought.
Another option would be to release the film in independent cinemas if we did not have a massive budget and the film wasn't as well accepted. It would also mean fans of the film would be able to see the film in a cinema, while at the same time not wasting money on releasing it into major cinemas if the film is not going to be accepted, as it would only waste money.
The audience for our film would be aged between 15 to 19, but could also range further into young adults and other exceptions. However, the film advertising would be targeted towards teenagers. This is because other films such as Zombieland and Lesbian Vampire Killers also attract these audience ages.
The audience we are hoping to attract was teenagers. As the characters are all teenagers, the audience could relate themselves easily. Also, many older teens may backpack across the country, which is what our main characters are doing. The camera shots of me close up are point of view shots that are quite scary, and by putting yourself in shots of the character, these are pretty creepy.
The suspense created in the shots of the zombie coming up the hill are quite daunting and reflect the horror conventions really well. The edit includes back to the backpackers' reactions, which adds an intensity for this horror film.
I've used music and sound that would be familiar and appropriate for the target audience of young adults. Therefore, I've used sounds to address our chosen target audience.
The camera equipment we used was good in that it was easy to transport from our location to location than larger cameras, and the tripod was simple to use. We also learnt more about the settings in the camera and how to properly set up a tripod, ensuring the camera is level before shooting. We had a few problems whilst filming weather-wise, meaning if we wanted good continuity we had to restart the filming process. However, we overcame this easily.
During the process of editing, I learned new techniques in iMovie to make our short movie better. I learned how to adjust the volume of clips so that useless or unusable sounds could be removed and that useful sound would be turned up, such as dialogue. I also learned how to use Final Cut Express HD, which would normally not be used until second year, to capture the zoomed-in frame of the lead zombie. I learned how to import the footage and how to edit the scene so that the flaws in the image may be removed. And I also learned how to remove the soundtrack from the scene completely so that the irrelevant conversations wouldn't be heard.
To create our logo, we used LiveType. This was a new program that we had never used before. I felt it gave a good effect for our logo, no one else in our class had used this. Although this technology was new to us, we adapted to it well and found it rather easy to use. The logo we created makes our opening sequence look more professional, and when creating it, we decided to make our logo neutral, so that our film company was not just restricted to one genre of films.
In order to create sounds for the movie, I've learned how to use GarageBand. We have used features such as cropping and editing sounds. GarageBand has been extremely helpful in the process of creating music for our movie. Also, another useful feature, which, however, the problems we encountered when creating the sounds using GarageBand included the fact that we had to look elsewhere for certain sounds which GarageBand did not offer.
I have learned that continuity is a big issue when keeping the quality of a film high. We have achieved a better continuity in this opening sequence opposed to our preliminary task. We overcame problems with continuity by refilming to ensure that costume and makeup remained the same.
We used GarageBand to create a soundtrack for our opening sequence, which is a progression from our prelim sounds, as we only used sound effects. The use of sound has intensified the experience for the viewer, which we did not fully do when creating our preliminary task.
As the editor for both tasks, I learned new things about iMovie rather than just having shots straight after one another. I made them flow better by adding fades and other various transitions. I learned how to make sound adjustments to the clip so that irrelevant sounds may be removed, as in the preliminary task, laughing can be heard at various points.
We used a wide range of shots in our film as well as ensuring that the composition in each shot was consecutive.